What's up, Jericho? Come on, we got a good one for you today. Come on, come on. I just got one question. Is there anybody here that loves Jesus? Come on, I know you love him like I do. Hey, is there anybody here that loves? Is there anybody here that loves? Is there anybody here that loves? Tell me what's his name. Come on. Come on. It's all right to groove sometimes. Hey, come on. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Hey, is there anybody here that loves? Is there anybody here that loves? Is there anybody here that loves? What's his name? Come on. Come on. I know you feel it. I know you feel it. Come on. Every woman and every man, let's come together and take a stand. We'll let the world know what we believe. Hey, just lift your voice and help me sing. Come on, hey. Is there anybody here that love? Is there anybody here that love? Is there anybody here that love? What's his name? Come on, bounce. Come on. Bounce with it. Hey, come on. Heaven opens at the sound of praise. Demons tremble. Come on, when we call his name. I'm like a fighter. I'm not afraid to lift my voice. Come on, and just Just call the name of Jesus. Just call the name Jesus. Come on. Anybody here know Jesus? You know the power of Jesus. You know he changes things. Said he changes things. Lift your voice and say, cry out Jesus. Cry out Jesus. Come on, come on.
Welcome and thank you for coming to Jericho No Walls. We appreciate you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to worship with us. We want to give you a big virtual hug and say good morning. Please remember, share this live with 5 people. Now let's prepare our hearts for worship. God bless you.
Oh my Lord.
Wherever he laid his head was his home.
So YouTube has a new feature where you can like us and you can laugh at us and you can do the little birthday thing here with the popping thing, and then you got the shocked face and you got the 100, huh? And so you can ask while we're having a good time. You can just hit the little thing, the likes. I think that helps us. It's a new feature. I ain't never seen it before. So let's try it.
Emojis.
Actually said we laughing, huh?
They
took it away. Yeah, give us some love, some laughs, all that. All that.
Yeah, if you agree with what we're saying, give us some hundreds.
Some hundreds.
Keep it 100.
If we making you laugh, go ahead and give us some laughter. If we said something shocking, like my dad had 11 children.
That's shocking.
That could be.
Yeah. Well.
Because listen, 11 is that's out the book. That's out the it's not. Never mind. We'll get to that in a minute. Listen.
Let's get back to this word and these points.
These points here. Ashley said fix it, Jesus. Okay, so what was point number 1?
Be authentic. Authenticity.
You can't be great unless you are authentic.
You know, you said a note here and I wrote it down.
Okay.
Authentic people exude trustworthiness. I agree with that, but I love that.
I mean, aren't we? Okay, so let's be honest here, okay? Because we're on YouTube, and anytime you're in the public light, and we have seen people in the public light, right? The people that's in public light that actually do really well. Mm-hmm. For instance, let's take, I don't know, Barack Obama. Okay. You always felt like he was being him at any given time. Is that not correct?
Correct.
So if you at least felt like he was being himself, and it looks as though he has been himself throughout this time, mm-hmm. you can trust that he's going to be whoever he says he's going to be. Mm-hmm. Whether it be a politician, whether it be an athlete, whether it be anybody in the public life, in the business sector and all that stuff. And even though they may have a celebrity facade, if they're the same person behind the facade, if that's the same person after you get past the layers, mm-hmm. more than likely, you're going to be able to tell. The public can tell. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, y'all might not like this, but when Derrick Jackson was real big before he got caught cheating on his wife. Mm-hmm. Y'all may not know. Courtney looks dark
skin dude.
Yeah.
I saw actually would see him in Essence a lot.
Yes. So when he was online, all the guys was like, this ninja is a fraud.
Again, I saw him at Essence in person. No shade to nobody, but you gotta let up. Yeah, you know.
But our people today, we have a BS meter, for lack of a better term, and we can tell who's being fake.
Sometimes, because people love Kevin Samuels and some of his stuff, I really didn't live by.
You don't think so?
Yeah. I don't think those other stuff he said he didn't live by. He was only just saying it. You know, it seemed like he was one of those.
Because it sounded like to me the woman that he was caught up with, she was not a high.
Exactly. He gave me one of those do as I say, not as I do type personalities.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on what he was trying to live. That depends on the life that he was trying to live, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because he might have been like,
just find his niche, and he was working a niche.
Yeah, I think so too.
and that very well may be true. But the stuff that Jerry Jackson was talking about, if your man ain't doing this and your man, he ain't worth being with. Well, you was the dude that was being with.
So which lady was you doing it for?
Okay. So it's important for us to, and then also if this is that's true, and if you want someone to believe in the vision that you have to be authentic. Because guess what? Somebody will be like, man, you want to do what? You want to open up a restaurant? You want to do this? You want to do that? You ain't even a chef. You don't even like to cook.
You're just going to make the money. This time, it's not for you.
It's not going to sustain itself, and so people are not going to believe that you're going to be able to fulfill what you're looking to fulfill if you don't have a passion for said thing. Right?
And let me tell you something. Being real never goes out of style.
That's a shirt, baby.
It just never goes out of style. And as we love to say in our ethnic areas, real recognize real.
They do.
So when you are being authentic,
And real recognize fake.
And it recognizes fake. And when you are being authentic, you are going to attract your tribe. It's going to help push you to your greatness. Because as we know, real recognize real.
Real do recognize real. This is true. And so the mayor said, number one, be authentic. Okay, so what we got for number two?
Ooh, let's see what we have for number two. Y'all know I'm not knowing by heart. Oh, number two was actually my favorite. Be brave. Be brave. And I'm gonna go into my note that I wrote for this. Being courageous makes you more successful. That's why I like number two, because I needed to hear that on today. As the old folks say, on today.
On today.
I need to hear that because sometimes I could be a little shy.
I'd always say on today.
You do? Like I said, my old folks, I'm just kidding.
Bishop, she came for me, Bishop. She came for me, Bishop. And usually I'm not the one that's come for when it's called, when we start talking about old. I'm the oldest one on the panel today, I think. Oh, Jesus. I think so.
But we ain't got to check. We ain't got to trust me. We ain't got to check.
We ain't got to, you want to check the license? Everybody pull out their license.
It's all good.
I'm always the baby.
Figuratively and literally. She want to talk about her age.
Oh boy.
But
be brave.
But I will say this on a be brave piece, and it fits so well with the be authentic, because it takes a level of bravery to be authentic.
Yes.
Especially in a world of fake.
Yes.
And there's a lot of fake stuff out there.
Oh yeah. And as a person, again, who just went through their own journey and started to realize some of the places where they weren't necessarily fake parts of me, but I was trying so much to people please and to be, the bravest thing I ever did was like to say no, or to be able to say, this is not who I am. That's not what I want. That's not what I want to contribute. That's not what I want to be known for. That's not the legacy I'm building. Like, that's not the brand that I'm building. And so I can appreciate that point number two so much, because I'm with you. Like, I love point number one of being authentic, but there's a level of bravery, there's a level of sacrifice, there's a level of choosing to be authentically yourself, and then also realizing that your authentic self is more valuable than any copycat that you can make of yourself, any duplication of yourself. Because a lot of times we find ourselves duplicating ourselves as a carbon copy of the original, not realizing that normally, if you've ever seen a carbon copy piece of paper, it's gonna leave you with a residue.
That was good.
Actually, that was good, but you dated yourself.
Oh, I'm alright.
You okay with that?
She's grown. She's real grown.
That came from me. I came back. I
want to add something that my sister Kay just said. So she said that being brave, it takes a level of bravery to be authentic in a world full of fakeness, right? But I also want to say it takes a level of bravery to be authentic in a world full of trauma, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of us are not authentic. We wear our mask, we show our representative because we're scared of being hurt. We're scared of being vulnerable. We're scared of letting people in. We're scared of letting our guards down. However, what you will find are in those moments when you are being brave and being vulnerable and speaking up about things that have happened to you, you will find that a lot of people have probably experienced those same things. Even sometimes, even if it's in a different form. So it's great. You have to be brave, like Cortez said, to be authentic.
Yes.
And I want to challenge everybody to take their risk. When you get around people, okay, you want to show your representative for a good 5 to 10 minutes, but be authentic. Enjoy a genuine conversation. Show your true self.
Yes.
And the truth of the matter is that if you're gonna risk it, why not risk it for you? Like, are you not worth the risk? And I think that was a place that I had to get to say, like, I am naturally helpful. I always, in being in the industry as long as I have, I'm known as a female MacGyver. It's like, Kay gonna figure it out. She got something, she got it in her car, she gonna figure out a solution. And I prided myself on that for so long. But also I had to realize that was one of my God-given gifts. That is something about me. And oftentimes the very gifting or promise or purpose of your life, we often start dumbing it down because we don't want other people to feel some kind of way, or we don't want other people to attribute it to us bragging or being something. But I ain't trying to be funny. I brag different because I understand the process it took for me to get to who I am and to be able to be that authentically, to be able to be brave enough to be it. So for me, I'm just on one of them situations where I'm no longer apologizing for who I am, and I'm no longer continue to reintroduce myself to people who know who I am, but just haven't, because they don't accept them. They can't accept me.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I want to thank the mayor for putting ways to give in the comments. I think you can pin that to the top, Mayor. I think you can pin it to the top. But I will say, hey, today, if you can sacrifice a $10 gift, 10 is the number of commands. Okay? And so today we're gonna command greatness to come upon all of us. Really? So a $10 seed, that'll do the deal for you. We can get started on our path to greatness. Okay?
I'm finna get $10 out of my own purse because I'm commanding some things. I don't know about nobody else, but I am commanding some things. I'm glad to know that 10 is the command. I'm definitely, as the pastors be saying, I'm starting this thing off with my $10 because I'm in a season that I gotta command some things to move. I don't know about nobody else, but I gotta command some things to move. It's time for my level up, and I've been in a holding pattern for far too long, and so for me to continue to be authentically me, it's time for me to stop allowing myself to be held in a place. So I'm commanding some things to come forth right now in the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
And so we did have the bishop to comment. He said, when you strive to be great, sometimes you experience separation syndrome, but fight through it.
Fight through that.
Fight through it. We love it. Because here's the other thing about being courageous and being brave. There is nothing worth having that you don't have to sacrifice for.
And that's the truth.
And so we have to be willing and ready to sacrifice. We got to be willing to take a chance. We got to be willing to take a risk. Because if you never take a risk, you'll never gain anything. Matter of fact, what they say with the lottery, you can't win if you don't play. So you got to get yourself in the game. You got to be courageous enough.
You can't fly if you don't jump.
You see what I'm saying? You'll never know what you have the ability or the capacity to even take on if you never step into it. It's like I believe I can fly. I believe that God has more for me. I believe all of those things, but you refuse to jump into the more.
Faith without work.
Come on.
Faith without work.
Come on, you got to be brave enough to take that risk. So risk it. and it's going the risk is $10 today. It might be more. it might be more next week. But listen, today is $10. Today is $10.
And put a command on your $10 when you send it. However you do it in the subject line or however you see fit to be able to do it. Put a command on it. Put it, and we come into agreement for your command because that's what we need at the end of the day. And I've heard my bishop say this so many times. You need to put a demand on your seed. And I'm putting a demand on my seed. I'm telling you, it's time for me to command the very thing. At the end of the day, we've all heard this so many times. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can speak a thing into existence. So we need to watch what we're speaking. And when you are speaking it authentically from your real wants, your real desires, the things that God has already placed in your mind and yearnings that he's already put on you, you not speaking that thing and you not believing it, that's a you thing. That don't have nothing to do with nobody else but you, because we gotta always start with ourselves.
And this came up yesterday in church. Basically, no risk, no reward. So whatever you want, it's gonna take some risk. If you're going into your greatness, it's gonna take some risk to get to that reward. And as Joseph mentioned about you're gonna go through some separation, I want to remind you guys what the word says. Do be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified or dismayed, because the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And even though you might separate from humans and people, you have to remember that you have a stronger force behind you that's gonna always be with you when you walk into your greatness. Always. And sometimes when we go through those separations with people, guess what? Sometimes they come back around. So it's okay to mourn that ending then, but just remember, sometimes people are not meant to be with you in every season. Some people are. Some people are your foundation. Some people are your roots. Some people are your branches, and some people are your leaves. And once we understand that, we won't really have the problem with the separation inside of you.
Because listen, when you great, it's lonely at the time. Everybody, and listen, and we're not saying that you got to be the greatest stylist, even though you very well may be. We're not saying that you got to be the greatest financial advisor, even though you may be. We're not saying that you got to be the greatest church, even though we may be. But you got to be great at being you. You hear me? And the mayor dropped something in the chat too. She said, "So your multiples of 10, huh?" She said, "Jericho, no walls is good ground."
Yes, it is. I promise you.
It's good ground.
That's true.
And we out here doing the right thing. We're not trying to get rich quick over here. Matter of fact, I'm trying to put together our commercial right now. It's up there right now. I'm trying my best to edit and get through it. But again, understand, this is good ground.
And I just want to piggyback on to what Erica said about that separation piece and about how, that God goes with us. This is the other side also of that. He also has gone before us. So while he'll come back and, like the footsteps in the sand and pick us up through the seasons and the times that we need to be picked up, he already knows what is ahead of us. And a lot of times we are fearful of what is ahead of us, forgetting the fact that he's gone before us, number one. And also, and this is go back to one of my daily affirmations, that God was so mindful of the world that he created us, that he was so mindful that they said the world needed Chemical, the world needed Erica, the world needed Markell, like the world needed us. That don't necessarily mean the full globe. It's our world and how far he wants it to go. But we have to have that belief system that he was intentional about us, and it grieves me when I hear people who feel as though they have nothing to offer. And I really do say this. This is according to the case, so just in case any of y'all theologians want to come for me, this according to the case. This is what I feel like God has confirmed in my spirit. When you no longer have purpose in the earth, you no longer will be in the earth.
Yeah, that ain't Bible.
I ain't saying it's Bible.
But
I really do believe that.
I agree.
Because this is how I feel. When you have fulfilled the purpose that God had for you in the earth, and sometimes, and people don't like to hear this, but this is true. a lot of us look and say, well, why did this person pass away, or why did this person die? Because some people needed their death in a way to push them to go further. They needed them to be gone. I can say that even for me, when it comes to, when I look back at my mom passing away, it was very hard loss. But I also know that her dying propelled me to do better. Her dying propelled me to say, I don't want to die in my 40s. Get my life together. Had I not have seen that, when I got the report about my heart, about my blood pressure, all of those things, I'd have kept pushing if I've seen other people push through it. But a lot of times, because we be in our grief, and because, you know, life be lifing and all of these different things, we don't look at the real message that we were supposed to get from a thing. We only see the place of criticalness where it hurt us versus seeing what we were supposed to learn from it to be able to push through it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So oftentimes I feel like we got to get out of that place of wanting to ask God, why did you do this? And look for why he did it. Because the second, and I've seen this happen in my life, oh my God. The second that I see the situation for what it was, the situation is no longer a situation.
Yes. Yeah.
It's no longer a situation. So we gotta change the way we perceive things, and the way that we receive things will be different, and we'll move different.
Yeah. Listen, because honestly, all things work together for the good of them.
Every single thing, the good, bad, and the other.
That's great.
It's still all. See, I didn't say it was a scripture. I'm just.
Hey, but you know, but you're right though. And even in our worst times, there is a reason and a time for everything. We know that there's a time and season for everything. There's a time and a season to reap. There's a time to sow. There's a time to, you know, to be happy. There's a time to be sad. There's a time to,
and the thing, even in that point, there is something we learn from sadness.
This is true.
There's something we learn from loss. There's something we learn from grief. There's something we learn from pain. It's something, because when I look back over my life and the things that I've gone through, what I realize is I've learned to sustain in some of the hardest times. And something I say when I go and I'm speaking in different places, and it's and you know, they've read my bio and everything, and I always say, you know, all of that stuff is good, but one of the things I stand on and I'm so glad and so thankful to God for is that I survived some things that killed some other people.
Yeah.
It's some things that if I really go through the story, it's some things where some people lost their mind and God allowed me to retain mine.
Yeah. Which is good, right? So and again, I mean, we have to. If you never experience the rain, how can you truly appreciate the sunshine?
And how can you learn the benefit of what the rain does, what it washes away, and what it helps to grow? If you never experience it. A flower or what they say, plants need sunshine and rain. They can't sustain what they need, one and the other. And oftentimes we don't pay attention that we need one and the other. One don't feel as good, but they both are necessary. See there, look at that. So if Bishop was here, he would have his little. He'd have us a word,
and he would be like, "Hey." We're in overtime. We are in.
Well, wait, before we move on to Be Brave, I want to just give another note that I want everybody to jot down. I heard it in church a few years ago. It's always resonated with me. I remind myself of this every single morning in my meditation. And that's that faith and fear cannot live in the same capacity.
Come on now.
And that's just something that we have to continue to tell ourselves every day. And remember to go out there and face whatever it is and do whatever it is that we're trying to do to help us excel.
One of them F's gotta go.
One gotta go. They can't live together.
They can't stay together. They can't stay together.
And so, overtime, but I'm gonna give you a third point anyway. Be character driven. Character is who you are when no one is watching. Woo.
So you that person all the time. You that person when that's part of being authentic. Being authentically you. That's part of, you know what I'm saying, being brave. Because guess what? It's easy to say, "Ooh, I would make that decision if, you know, if nobody's watching. Shoot, I'm gonna You know what I'm saying? If nobody's watching, then yeah, I might do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny you say that because I just had this little thing in my office, and you know how like you'll be throwing some away, and then a piece of what you throw away fall on the floor, and a part of you just be like, man, forget that. I can't forget it. Like if you drive, oh Lord, let me just go get this thing up. But a part of you but my character won't let me leave it because at the end of the day, it's still something that has to be gotten up. And I know that seems like such a small thing, but it is because nobody else would have known that he had dropped it in the office or anything like that. But it's like
nobody else would have known that you left that gummy bear right there on the floor. Nobody would have. And guess what? And somebody would have stepped on that gummy bear. Now they shoe sticky. It's spreading all across, and it's all because. And
it's now hair, all kinds of stuff, all because I didn't. It wasn't a gummy bear, but I would now like some gummy bears.
Here at Jericho, we are looking to be crusaders for Christ and serve the community. We cannot do this without your support. We would love for you to partner with us. We have 3 ways to give: Cash App at jerichonowalls, PayPal at jerichonowalls, Zelle at jerichonowallsorg at gmail.com. Another way for you to support the ministry is to go to all the social media platforms that we're on: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. We have the mandate to spread the gospel. We're going to use the algorithm to assist us in this effort. Please be on the lookout for Morning Joe with Jericho and the extended version of Worship Service. We will open up the studio as well to people who want to be a part of the worship and production process. Please feel free to reach out to us. We really want the fellowship and the love to be in the room. If you'd like to be a member, please send us a message through any of our platforms. One of our online ministers will promptly contact you to collect your information. We do not take your partnership for granted.